They made me run. Okay. I gotta catch your breath. Also, I'm trying to get at the front. Fuck. Okay, we're at the front. At least, yeah, to catch to the other people.
Impeach, convict, remove.
Hey, everybody, let's wait for the other groups to collect with us. We got a division from the intersection.
I mean, that's the purpose of a walkout, dumbass. Purpose of a walkout means to walk out of your job, to walk out of your school.
All right, we're going to catch up the ball in front. Everybody, let's keep rolling.
Just cross, just cross. Haha, exactly.
We're making a left turn. We are going to take up both sides of the sidewalk. If you guys want to take it out, we'll take this side over there.
I stand in Portland.
Are you going back this way? Yes.
Still believe the idea is to block the road. You know, First Amendment also means freedom of religion, right, dumbass? I mean, we're not on the streets. But we need to be on the streets to claim that it's our streets. Okay, I gotta get my battery out. Give me a second, guys.
Ice out of Portland.
I still believe we should be taking the streets. So I don't know why we're. Yeah, exactly. The point is to cause disturbance. Because at this point we're still complying with the rules.
I know, we just need to move with the car.
Immigrant rights are human rights.
Immigrant rights are human rights.
Immigrant rights are human rights.
Exactly. I mean,
Immigrant rights are human rights.
'cause I still believe this is just like parading, you know,
Rights are
following rules, which is not to disturb traffic. But our protest is to actually disturb daily, day-to-day services, which is cars, to cause traffic.
Ice out of Portland. Ice out of Portland. making a turn.
Okay, some of us have to peel off.
You got it.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Yeah, we're almost there. Woo! Almost there.
Don't slow. No KGW8, no fascist USA.
No Trump.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK.
This is Portland, Oregon.
USA. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA.
No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump.
Well, I've been telling them to actually get in the streets. They're
Yeah, I
chanting
know.
our streets, and I was like, they're on the sidewalk.
Oh, I know. It's a joke. They heard the speeches and went, yeah, no, we're going to double down.
Right?
We're going to double down on our...
Because we were doing fine on the streets. And then they were like,
we're going to go on a walk on the
let's just go on the walk.
I love that grandma that came up and was just like, anyone that wants to go down to ICE, I'll be
Yeah.
in the corner over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Come see me, we'll organize. I'll get you a gas mask, get you some knee pads. I got some pain meds you can have. You're going to need them. Joints are going to be hurting.
And just for the record, people, streets are clean. You see the line coming still, but we're on the sidewalk. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. It's triggering.
Yeah, City, but you know, like if we're protesting, we should be on the streets. The purpose of a protest is to disrupt the system, to stop daily services. Because again, at this point, we're literally just on a walk out there. Portland, Oregon, Lenica. Exactly, Pigeon, and that's been the struggle, right? Because you see the whole lane, over there coming, but all of them are on the sidewalk. A 100% Pigeon. I 100% agree with this. Yes, let me. And now we're on a parking lot. Okay, so we made it to KGW, which was the main goal at the beginning. Which I understand, right? Because the media does censor the people. The media does censor the people. So let me get actually in front.
Ice out of Portland! 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 Ice out Portland! Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland!
Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! Allied University also works with ICE. Allied Universal also works with ICE. The security that they have are also work along with ICE.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad it looks like almost all of us have made it safely. As soon as the rest of the marchers get here, we're going to get our speakers set up with our freedom train. And then everybody's going to have the opportunity to tell the world, to tell the city, to tell the government, to tell Congress, and to tell Trump and I exactly what we have to say. And no one's going to be able to censor us. So everybody just keep on chanting, have a good time. If you've got bullhorns, if you've got microphones, whatever you want, work with each other. This is an opportunity for everyone. No one's voice will be silenced. Now, we do ask that please, even though no one's voice is going to be silenced, we do offer those of color and BIPOC individuals, they do get first standing. We raise their voices up. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward.
This is KGW Fox News. KGW News or Fox News. And just a reminder, people, they have Allied Universal Security Services. They also work with ICE. Allied Universal Security Services also work with ICE. If you go check my profile, I have pictures of them. Mire, y así estamos haciendo una manifestación en contra del gobierno de Trump, pero ahorita estamos situados enfrente de una de las cadenas de televisión que se encargan de esparcir propaganda para también silenciar las voces de la gente aquí en los Estados Unidos. No, she's working out, sports. Exacto, mire ya. ¿Cuál es el canal de televisión? Es KGW. Déjense los enseño. Let me show you guys the news brand. That's the news. Remember, it is support of Fox. Fox is in charge of spreading propaganda and silencing the people here. Lo que es la cadena de televisión de Fox se encarga de silenciar las voces de la gente, tanto aquí como fuera. Ah, no, en esa no, ahí está, basically. And this is just a quick reminder, right, people? Allied Universal Security Services, they also work along with ICE. I have a post in my profile about these individuals.
Sound system to come. This is a very important question that I've asked hundreds of people, maybe close to 1,000 by now. If you had absolute and total confidence that everybody would stand up together with you, would you stand up against the ruling class, against the fascists and the billionaires? Every single person that I have asked, of the hundreds of people, all of them have said yes. All of them have said yes, but that would never happen. Everyone says yes, but that would never happen. Everyone is willing to rise up against the ruling class, but no one believes that everyone else will stand up together with them. That is what they have done on purpose. They have made us lose faith in one another. They have made us feel divided and weak. But we have one common enemy, and they are evil. They are fucking insane. They want us to die. They hate you. Power makes humans evil. Everyone knows, it is common sense, that it takes money to make money, that it takes money to have power. Everyone knows this, and yet going to pretend that there is somehow any meaningful difference between economic power and political power. All of us have seen in our lifetimes and in the lifetimes of our parents that all attempts to regulate the rich have failed. We have seen it. They use everything they can to divide us. They use everything they can to undermine our democracy, to make us hate those who are powerless, to create powerless individuals, create powerless castes of people. They enslave us. They enslave black people. They genocide indigenous people. They hurt everyone they can, and they make us blame each other. But it is always them. It is always the ones with money and power who orchestrate class conflict within the class, who orchestrate the culture war. Ask everyone you know. This is homework. Ask every single person that you know if they would stand up to go against the ultra-rich, against the tech billionaires, the fascists, the corporate oligarchs. Ask everyone you know if they would stand up. And when they answer, of course, but no one else would stand up together with me, tell them that that is what everyone says. And then urge them to go on and ask that same question and tell everyone that they know of the same irony. It's all that we need to wake the fuck up.
I want to say thank you all for coming. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. That's all. And you people came out and so did I. Thank you.
6,500 watts of freedom back here. We, the people, are here to demand that the press does its job and report in its entirety the news on the ground. This republic will not stand if you allow the thumb of oppression to silence you. You are integral to the continuing freedom and democracy of this country.
Between peaceful and non-violent, right? Yeah. So peaceful, no, because peaceful means that you just do
Power to the people. Let's hear all of you raise up your voices. One day, that tyrant will die. And the history is clear. When the cult leader of a fascist regime dies, the regime will die with him. And when that happens, all those agencies and those agents that complied, that bent the knee and kissed the ring will be held accountable. A free people do not forget. And we will hold accountable not just the press, but all of the tools of tyrants. Those pieces of the machinations of tyranny that have tried to oppress us, that have murdered us, that have bloodied us, that have tried to steal our voices. They can't, though. We will get louder and louder, and if 7,000 watts isn't enough, we'll make it 20. They silenced Renee Nicole Good, but they didn't silence the things that she stood for and the example that she set.
Jess Gorge. KGW. KGW, I mean.
Well, it brings me to tears. But yet, each and every one of you that stands out here stands in her example. That she has shown leadership and we follow, and in our own we create a change. And if it means standing in the cold in front of a news agency to demand that they tell the truth, then here we are. And as I said once before, if I have to be wounded in order to have my say, then here I am. Crowfeather, you have words for them?
My ancestors spoke about this moment, and we're tired of fearing the government, and it's time the government fears the people. Fuck ICE.
Crow! Crow! Crow!
You have words to say?
I just want to give a quick quote from Ernesto Che Guevara an Argentine man who led revolution across Latin America and inspired revolutions around the globe. Those who kill their own children and discriminate daily against those because of their color of their skin, those who let the murderers of black people remain free, protecting them and furthermore punishing the black population because they demand their legitimate rights as free people. How can those who consider themselves guardians of freedom? The government of the United States is not the champion of freedom, but rather the perpetrator of exploitation and oppression against the people of the world and against a larger part of its own population.
These speakers were donated from the people that I work with that were terrified to come out to the ICE facility in the summer when we were being beaten and abused, but at the same time, they still felt obligated and compelled to help the community. So they asked, how can we help? And I said, make our voices louder. And so the nurses and doctors that I worked with pitched in. And these belong to all of you. And so if you have words to say,
And that's the address, people.
again, the greatest weapon against tyrants is the speech of free people. Come and use your voice. Generate that weapon. Bring down tyranny with your words. The mic is open.
My family came here in 1640. I have a long legacy of what freedom means. Not everybody came because they were fleeing religious persecution. Many people came because they didn't have anything, and this was a possibility. But granted, in coming, we displaced many people. My family came with nothing. It was a small town in England taken and brought to be the workforce for a mill. But they rose. And then my maternal great-grandmother was a suffragette at Seneca Falls to give women the right to vote. Exactly. My grandfather served in World War I and returned with terrible PTSD, died very young because of that. My father was killed at 26, serving his country in the Navy. My mother raised 3 children on her own, despite terrible hypocrisy of this country and the idea of freedom. She, like so many women, were oppressed, but she believed in America. She manned the voting the poll booths, every single year for every vote. She believed in America. I grew up in the shadow of all that. I grew up in San Diego with all these World War II vets. I heard terrible stories of what people endured in the name of freedom. I grew up with the Constitution and the preamble of the Constitution. I don't know if a single ICE agent could repeat the preamble of the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, to establish justice, to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States. And what does it include? The Bill of Rights. And what does the Bill of Rights include? The right to free assembly, the right to free speech, and the right to due process.
It is a singular joy to be able to bring a tool like this out and watch you people use it. Feel free. You know what? If your voice cracks, if you're terrified, that makes it that much more powerful.
Hey everyone, how's it going today? It's amazing the kind of momentum that I've seen pop up over the last few months all across this country. And I want to let people know that America is not alone in this struggle right now. There's other countries that are going through the same authoritarian mess that we are. There's Viktor Orban in Hungary, and there's going to be an election, and I really hope that he gets thrown out and the forces of democracy prevail. Another one that a lot of people in the West and in America have not heard a lot about on the media has been what's going on in Serbia, too. Early last year, well, let me back up. November 2024, there was a train station in the city of Novi Sad that collapsed and 16 people were killed, and that uncorked a nationwide outpouring of rage against the corrupt, increasingly authoritarian government. 5% of the Serbian population was in the streets last March. 5%. That's the equivalent of 17 million Americans in the streets all at once. So we're not in this alone. And we have a lot of more momentum to do. No Kings was a good start. We're about halfway to that 17 million goal. But we need to step it up another step further. The fight for democracy, for freedom, for human rights is worldwide. So let me say something. I stand with the people in Hungary who are fighting for freedom and justice. I stand with the people of Serbia who are standing for freedom and justice. I stand with the Philippines. I stand with Nepal, many other regimes, and I stand with my fellow Americans today. We will defeat this fascist regime, and we will, once again, we will look forward to a world where the future is better than the past. Thank you.
Before I open my mouth, let me say I got nothing important to say. But my father was a simple man. He was as country as they came. He lived in a house that was more of a shack. He had a dirt floor. His sister, her bedroom was a sheet in the corner that they hung up, so she had a little bit of privacy. This man grew up in a town with not a single person of color, but he had a good heart. One day I uttered the words, "That's gay." He looked at me and he said, "Do you think there's anything wrong with being gay?" And I said, "Well, yeah, a man and a woman can make a baby, a man and a man can't, a woman and a woman can't." And he said, "Well, son, what about love?" And something that we need to keep in mind is that the side that we are on is fighting for love. The opposition has built their regime on hate, and it will not stand. Thank you.
Every day I hear the news and I wonder if I can make a difference. And by coming out here today to this protest, I'm making a difference. And by speaking, I'm making a difference. All of us can make a difference, and all of us can resist ICE and this fascist regime.
Strong work.
Right. It's beautiful to be an homeborn Oregonian, born and raised, surrounded by other Oregonians who are getting out there and exercising their First Amendment right, their right to assemble. And if anything, as a born and raised Oregonian, I could emphasize more, is to educate yourself and continue to exercise all of your rights as the body and the party that tells you to remain blind, keep your ears closed to the facts around you, little George Orwell. You know, I spoke a couple weeks ago at Portland City Council regarding the new unmasking legislation that came up, and to my glad surprise, every single written and verbal testimony that was submitted was in support of this legislation. The only party who chose to come up and oppose, the Portland Police Bureau and all other represented police agencies. They said it's impossible to enact that kind of legislation. They said it's impossible to enact that every Portland police officer have a standardized badge. And they said it's impossible to police the very communities in which they, I thought, considered sworn oath to police the very communities in which they, I thought, considered sworn oath to and protect that looks different compared to your skin color. I think we all need to do some digging in Oregon's integral history. Listen to our Indigenous brothers and sisters who spoke today. Listen to the marginalized communities who have lived here, who like myself are born and raised here. And I can attest to this. My own hometown, up until 2018, coveted a high school mascot that was a Confederate flag or a Confederate soldier. South Albany High School up until 2018. The roots of racism in Oregon specifically run deep, and we need to hold our local elected law enforcement and officials accountable to make sure that they are not policing us, but actually helping to keep our community safe. And since, thank you, I was unable to read my poem at my Portland City Council, yes please. As a ode to Renee Good's legacy as a poet, I bring to you a new national anthem by Ada Limon. The truth is, I've never cared for the national anthem. If you think about it, it's not a good song. Too high for most of us with the rocket's red glare. And then there are the bombs. Always, always, there is war and bombs. Once I sang it at homecoming and threw even the tenacious high school band off key. But the song didn't mean anything, just a call to the field, something to get through before the pummeling of youth. And what are the stanzas we never sing? The third that mentions no refuge could save the hireling and the slave? Perhaps the truth is that every song of this country has an unsung third stanza. Something brutal snaking underneath us as we blindly sing the high notes with a beer sloshing in the stands, hoping our team wins. Don't get me wrong, I do like the flag. How it undulates in the wind like water, elemental, and best when it's humbled, brought to its knees, clung to by someone who has lost everything, when it's not a weapon, when it flickers, when it folds up so perfectly you can keep it until it's needed, until you can love it again. Until the song in your mouth feels like sustenance, a song where the notes are sung by even the ageless woods, the shortgrass plains, the Red River Gorge, the fistful of land left unpoisoned. That song, that's our birthright. That's sung in silence when it's too hard to go on. That sounds like someone's rough fingers weaving into another's. That sounds like a match being lit in an endless cave. The song that says, my bones are your bones, and your bones are my bones, and isn't that enough? Thank you.
I know. I'm not that good, I guess. Dang, sorry guys. That was sick. I'll introduce myself. My name is Jessica Salas, and I'm running for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Thanks. I get that. Thanks. You guys are so nice. And I just want to say, look around you. This is what hope looks like. It's not the quiet kind. It's the kind that shows up anyway. The kind that walks out. The kind that refuses business as usual. We're 1 year into Trump's 2nd term, and we have to stop pretending what we're facing. ICE in our neighborhoods, troops in our cities, families ripped apart, trans people under attack, billionaires becoming richer, fear used to keep people quiet. This is fascism. It's not a warning. It's happening now. And let me say this with my chest. Fuck Donald Trump and the system he's building. Not because we're scared, but because we see it, and because we refuse to go along with the cruelty and silence. The only way through fascism is refusal to go along with it, to act like this is normal, and to accept that this is okay. And that's what organized refusal looks like. Not chaos, not destruction, people standing together and saying no. We stop working, we stop cooperating, and we stop giving our consent because they want us tired, they want us divided, and they want us to feel alone. But look around you. We are not waiting for permission. We are not waiting for someone to save us, and we're not backing down when fascism comes face to face with the people it tries to erase. The truth that they don't want to hear is that we're organized, we are together, and we are not afraid anymore. This is the resistance, not someday, right now. We choose each other, we choose courage, we choose a future that belongs to all of us. Everybody in, nobody out. Power starts with us, and we are just getting started. Fuck ICE, fuck Donald Trump, free Palestine.
I don't have anything prepared, so I'll just start with this. We're here in front of this building, and all the news stations locally, but particularly this one, I would just ask you to be more accountable, because you parrot police talking points from the fascist PPV on a regular basis through all the movements, whether it's been Black Lives Matter or whether it's been this movement against fascism. This is dangerous to people on the ground. It keeps people thinking in that mentality, and really it's going for the ruling class, the one our friend spoke about earlier. My partner's almost had her elbow broken by those goons down there. All my friends that are like family to me, they're indigenous, they're down there fighting hard to stop all this kidnapping, the killing of people in these facilities, and all this disgusting stuff. And y'all often speak to the opposite of that. So I would just say be more accountable and be more of a voice to the people instead of to the ruling class and these fascists. Fuck ICE, free Palestine, free Turtle Island, free Ireland, free everybody.
My name is Jasmine Hamilton. I organized a walkout about a month ago at my school. I'm 15 years old, and I wrote this poem called Concentration Nation about, I have no idea, a really long time ago, before I really knew who Trump was deep down. Okay. You take them from their homes, strip them of humanity, their clothes, their care, the vulnerability. You say they're a threat, something to be feared. You would do it to U.S. citizens, even those who cheered you on. You'd do it to immigrants. What's stopping you from moving further along? Why take innocent men, innocent women, innocent children from the hands and arms of loving, caring homes to the pit of hell that you call a processing center, a detention center? Bring truth to the words. Call it what it is. It's a concentration camp. A distilled feeling deeply rooted in my chest. You're taking their life, their personal belongings, their food, their water, their healthcare, their will to live. Does that sound familiar yet? Cult-like behavior, worshipped like a god, while you beat down innocent people, killing them, treating them like dogs. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of corrupt ideas of Americans, and for the MAGA, for which it will burn, one nation, under Trump, divisible, with liberty and justice for white men.
Hi, my name is Giancarlo. I'm a son of 2 immigrants, and for the past few months, I've had to watch them be scared of stepping out of our own home. And I want to thank all of you for being out here and supporting all these different ideas. And the only thing I want to say is, fuck ICE!
From Portland, I'm from Albany, and me and my best friend came out to support today because Albany isn't doing anything. And this is an amalgamation of several poems, which I think are very fitting. It's about white privilege, so if you're uncomfortable with that, fuck you. It is my steady breath in the presence of a cop. It is the power I have in the color of my skin. It is the opportunities I steal with the flash of my face. It is the smile I get from every white man who walks by. It's the nonchalant manner of white workers. It is the knowledge that I will get help if I do not feel safe. Sometimes I'm ashamed of being white, knowing what my ancestors have done to almost every minority in this country makes my skin crawl. Privilege is being able to say all lives matter while living out your day, while being without fear, while breathing without care, as others struggle for air. I am sorry, dear Black people. Privilege is being able to wake up without constant dread in the back of your head. Privilege is being able to write this without ever knowing how dangerous it is. Just to breathe. Just to be. I am sorry, dear Asian Americans, dear Native Americans, dear immigrants who came here seeking a better life. Passive discomfort isn't an excuse for silence. Potential confrontation isn't an excuse for injustice. Privilege is being able to choose to do nothing. I am sorry I have started my life on the top of the ladder while you were born on the first rung. Once I heard someone say, if you know better, do better, which is why I refuse to take the back seat when calling out racism, knowing that I have the privilege to sit anywhere on the fucking bus. It is knowing that if an officer ever pulled me over, he is not going to feel threatened to put his hand on his gun. It is knowing that if my car ever runs out of gas in the middle of the night on a highway, most people would stop their vehicles and ask if I was all right. It is knowing that my skin is more bulletproof than a bullseye, which is why I view each day as a new opportunity to use this mouth loud, even in uncomfortable spaces. But yet you tell yourself those 3 words, all lives matter, because you don't care, because you don't have to fear. They serve as a blanket, a shielding you from grim reality that dares to alter your ideas. To keep my ears tuned, to do good, be better, for my eyes to not be whitewashed or colorblind. Yet there is still so much learning I have to do. But if there is one thing I do know is that privilege is never having to think about it or talk about it. And my goodness, if I get paid to speak for a living, how could I ever be silent about that?
I don't know how to follow that. I didn't have a big speech this time. I just wanted to say that this is the opportunity for everybody to stand behind the news media and say that we have their back. We're not going to allow state-run media. We're out here and we chose to be here at this location to stand up for truth, to stand for unbiased media that tells facts, for journalism that has integrity, that it doesn't matter how many propagandists replace our journalists. The journalists that actually care about truth aren't going anywhere. And I hope that other stations and other states take notice and other communities stand up behind their journalists and say you can tell the truth. And it doesn't matter how many lawsuits, it doesn't matter how many FCC fines, it doesn't matter how he runs his mouth. We stand behind journalists with integrity. We are here because we are no longer asking for permission for the truth to be told. We are telling the truth, and no one is going to silence truth again.
You support us, and if they come after you, we will be in front of that jail 10 times this number, 20 times this loud. We will fight for the people that fight for us. We have to be able to do this together. We need each other. The public needs the media, and we need media that tells the truth. The last few honest judges and the last few honest journalists that have the spine to stand up to tyrants are all that comes between us and the end of the democracy that we live in. We stand on the razor's edge, and we cannot fail. We cannot waver. We need you, so hear us. And there's more of us that need to be heard. Who wishes to speak?
Just one quick one, if you haven't heard, the May 1st walkout. If you don't know the facts, here it is. In a study of the democracies that were threatened in the 20th century, 7.1% survived without help. 51.5% survived with the people. 3% survived with labor involved. So please start talking to your communities and plan for May 1st and get everyone possible to walk out of their jobs, out of their schools, out of their comfort zone, get in the streets and protest this government.
My name is Stacy. I'm transgender, and I'm not a threat to anybody.
Let me remind the community at large, because I think most of this crowd already knows it, but let it live stream, let it go out, be content. That the first people that showed up at ICE in May and June, the ones that went into July and August and September, the ones that stood on the blue line, the ones that bled, the ones that had their bones broken, the ones that were arrested over and over and over again, were not giant gym bros. They were LGBTQ, they were women, they were the women, indigenous women, our most endangered humans in this country. The most marginalized communities in my country, the people that were trying to be pushed into the corner, the ones that the majority didn't want to hear from, that we wanted to forget about. Those were the first people to show up and fight for other people. And the things that I saw them do, the abuses that I saw them tolerate, that they stood 10 toes down and refused to yield, those are my leaders. Those are the heroes in my story that I look up to. And I want to thank every one of them, and that's why I'm here.
I am not from here, so I am fucking freezing. No, but what Vinny said. Can you tell us your name again, please? Sierra Mercado. Thank you. No, what Vinny was saying about truth, we need not just allies, but accomplices. And by accomplices, I mean standing with us at ICE. And I don't mean in the inflatable costumes either. I get it, optics are, we need optics. But can you imagine being ripped from your family, not knowing where you're going, and the last thing you see is a party outside of ICE? And your last thought is, there is no one on my side. Because they don't have access to the news like we do out here. They're locked up. They just got everything torn from them. We need accomplices. We need boots on the ground. We need to let them know that they cannot clock in and clock out and go home, have their TV dinner and enjoy it. Need to make their lives absolute hell. Make their jobs absolute hell. Non-stop. Make sure that the people inside can hear you. I have protested in Tacoma at the Northwest Detention Center, and there was not a soul outside. Not a soul. I could hear people screaming. Their screams on the wind. And there was not a single protester out there fighting for them. This is what they heard, complete silence. You hear that? Nothing. We need to be louder and we need to go harder. No excuses. I get it, some people can do what they can. But sometimes we gotta step out of our comfort zone for those that don't have any comfort, that had their comfort ripped from them. We need accomplices.
Yeah!
So do you want to hold my shit sign?
The Third Reich.
My name's Debbie. This is my first march in Portland. I have been in LA for the last 45 years, though I was born in Oregon. So, we're all the choir, right? We're the choir. And all of the things that everybody has said, we're here, we're making signs, we're making a meal for somebody, you're standing in solidarity with somebody that you know who is scared. I challenge all of you, as I'm trying to do with some people in my life now, to go to somebody who's not the choir, to go to somebody who voted for Trump. Don't tell them to fuck off. Tell them, ask them to see what is happening now. Because that tent has to be big. We have to invite other people into the tent with us, no matter how hard you might have to bite your tongue. It doesn't mean to believe. It's not about proving someone wrong. It's about standing up for the things that are right now. And my best friend and one of my brothers have disappointed me in this regard. And I am having conversations with them both, and I don't have answers about what they will or won't do next. And it isn't even about that, but it's about being vocal. It's about asking other people to open their eyes to see what is happening, and maybe they'll come out and march next time.
Hi everybody, it's great to see so many people out. I know our crowd has thinned a little bit, but that's all right. It is really cold. I think events like these are really important, but if this is the only thing that you're doing, I gotta tell you, it's not gonna be enough. We have to do things outside of spaces like these. These kinds of spaces are great for getting to know people, rallying, finding organizations, finding connections, seeing all of your community come out so that you know that you're not alone in this. But this is where the action starts, not where it stops. This isn't the action itself. This is the entry into what should be sustainable, ongoing, long-term action. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? It's an old cliche, but it's true. I come with some homework. Who's heard of Martin Luther King Jr.? Yeah, who's heard the I Have a Dream speech? Yeah? Now, who's read a letter from a Birmingham jail? Yeah, a couple people, a little bit less though, right? That's some homework. Go home, read a letter from a Birmingham jail, and see what Martin Luther King Jr. had to say about the white moderate. It's super important. When we're having conversations about the right way to protest, we're already playing the fascist game. And while we're on it, thank you. And while we're on it, I've heard a lot of discussion about oh, America's fascist now. America is the blueprint for fascism. And if that's not something, if that sounds like a surprise, if that comes as a surprise, then there's a lot of history that you're going to need to look into. I'm a young white woman, right? So there's a little bit of a learning curve. There's some catching up that I had to do. But it's on us who have been relatively comfortable in some way or another, to do the work. And a lot of times we stop here and we think that this is the work. But the work is talking to your neighbors. Do you know your neighbors' names? Yes. Awesome. I don't. That's some of my homework. A lot of people have heard of Martin Luther King Jr., but have you heard of Fred Hampton? Audre Lorde? Angela Davis? Yeah? If you haven't, Google them. There are lots of other indigenous activists. There's a great book, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. That is an indigenous history of activism, but also don't take it from me. There are lots of sites that are dedicated to giving you an entry. They've got whole book lists and reading lists. I know this part doesn't sound necessarily like action, but information is power, and education is power. And decolonizing our own minds is the first step. You may have heard the revolution will not be televised. And some people take that to be a commentary on what the news will or will not cover. And that's part of it. But the other part of the revolution will not be televised is to say that the revolution begins in the heart and the mind. It begins in communities. It starts from the ground up. It doesn't come from the top down. It's not going to be organized at a national scale. Nobody's going to send you a pamphlet that says, here's the revolution, time, place, here's what you're going to need to do. And also, just to clarify, what I mean by revolution is I mean a big fundamental change. Because this isn't working for anybody. These systems of white supremacy aren't working for anybody. Even the people that they claim to serve are harmed by these systems at the end of the day. Another great person you should listen to, Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks is a great segment. She's got a book, Men, Masculinity, and Love, or a chapter in one of her other books called Men, Comrades in Struggle, that talks about the way that the patriarchy actually negatively impacts men, which is not something that a lot of feminists want to talk about, myself included, which is why I'm glad Bell Hooks did it. My point is, if any of these names comes as a surprise to you, or even if they don't, take that as a starting point for additional education. Because this history has been hidden from us. We were taught propaganda on purpose. And until we do the work to unlearn all of that, and to unlearn the ways that we are inadvertently or consciously perpetrating these same systems, we're not going to be able to build something different. Audre Lorde said, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. So what tools are we going to use? That's what I leave you with.
I guess we're wrapping up today. Remember, collective action is the best way to go, so continue to make connections and do very tangible, practical outcomes. And again, just thank you all for being here for our community, and we're making Portland a multicultural, true sanctuary, and I'm excited to see it.
Before we wrap up, I feel the need to use my voice. My name is Solomon DeKrozik. I am a college-educated person, and I last year was working with AmeriCorps in a program called Resource Assistance for Rural Environments, aka RARE, and its program funding was cut by DOGE, illegally and unlawfully. I am a born and raised Oregonian. I grew up in Woodburn, Oregon, and I developed a lot of hatred towards rural Oregon because of the way that I watched outside rural communities be racist and bigoted and hateful towards my fellow peers. I intended to go into RARE because I wanted to change my mindset about my state, because I know that hate cannot truly persist in the heart of everyone in a rural community. And while I stand here in Portland, in a metropolis-ish, I think back on the lessons that I learned while I was in RARE. I was in Bandon, Oregon, a small retirement community south of Coos Bay, and I was honestly scared to go there because of the fear that I had about the hatred in those people's hearts. However, when I got down into these rural environments and these rural communities, I realized that we're not so much different. Although there might be less funding in their education and their mindsets might not be exactly the same as mine, we are all our livelihoods and our health and our safety. And that extends to all of us here. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just want to say it's really fucked up that I fucking lost my job while I was trying to help the literal impoverished communities in our nation. And fuck ICE. Oh, and they're literally going door to door in Woodburn. It's not like this shit is new. It's not just starting in Minneapolis. I know people have had to fucking hide in stairways for 48 hours with their goddamn toddlers. So, all of us should know that this shit is in Oregon, it is in Woodburn, it's in all of our fucking houses. So yeah, please understand that this is not just happening in Minneapolis, it's not just happening in Chicago. I know it's happening in Portland, but it's also happening nationwide.
This is only part of the resistance. There's a big part that you all aren't seeing, for the mostly aren't seeing, that's being done every day, Sunday to Sunday. And it starts sometimes before 6 in the morning when Migra Watch, Rapid Response, Rat Patrols out following, tracking ICE all day long. Legal observers watching them, recording what they're doing, and making those guys look over their back all day long. It slows them down. It lets families know what happened to their loved one, because sometimes it'll be 2 days. No one's heard from Dad until he calls from Mexico or from the detention center. It also helps them connect with networks that support the families that are left behind. These people are doing their jobs that aren't a job. They're doing it on their own dime with very little support. And they're doing the most dangerous work, the kind of things that'll get you literally killed and shot in the face for watching an ICE officer do his job, for watching a tyrant abduct and abuse the people in my country illegally, kicking in doors without warrants. There's a simple definition of fascism. There's an in-group to which the law protects but does not bind. If you think of those men on January 6th that battered police officers and trashed our Capitol and now walk not just free, but are getting paid with our tax dollars, those are the people that are in the in-group, who the law protects but does not bind. And then there's the rest of us, who are bound by the law, who are subject to its penalties, but are not protected by the law, who will vanish in the dark if we aren't watching each other. So just think of that, and those people that are out there doing that work as we speak, quietly and without fanfare or celebration, and that I hope that you in the media that one day get to tell the full story of the work that they're doing, because those are heroes. I get to peek in at the work that they do. And it takes my breath away to know that we have those heroes in our community, that you stand next to some of them now, and I won't point them out, but some of them are here. And some of them you heard from today. And those are the best goddamn people in the world.
Go, Benny!
Hey. Hi. How's it going? You don't have to vote for me or anything, but if you do really want to get involved, come to me. I have my signal on my business card. If you really want to chase ICE, it's scary, but honestly, it's worth it. And you can also look up license plates on stopice.net if you're curious. But yeah, if you do want to get involved, let me know. I can give you my business card. You can sign up on Signal, and then I can get you connected to some groups if you desperately want to do it. If you literally want to do this, this is a very serious thing. Please come and see me. Thank you.
If you do want to be more involved, if your risk tolerance is high, if you're like, fucking fuck those guys, take the Migra Watch training to start with, and then you could progress from there. You'll have to look it up because I don't have any dates right on me, but usually you can find them online. Some of it is in person. and some of it is virtual training. It'll keep you as much out of trouble as possible. It is a higher risk endeavor. But again, either we take the risk and put ourselves in dangerous places now, or we hide and we're all at risk later. That's right. I'm just gonna ask for more speakers. Come up, sir, tell your truth.
Sorry, I'm not good at this. I just wanted some quick words. It's been said by some people before speaking, but just, I was at the gym yesterday with one of my buddies, and I was trying to bring him out here, and he said, "Oh, I think there's enough people protesting." And I just want to put a message out there to anybody who thinks that. No, the fuck there isn't. We need everybody out here. All hands on deck. Get your ass out here.
I think we're getting close to wrapping up. If there's anybody else that you're like, oh, I'm afraid to speak, you know what, that's okay. I'll tell you what, I volunteered at the mass vaccine clinic, and I used to have people that were like, I'm terrified of getting my shot. And they would get up there, but they would get it anyways. And sometimes they'd pass out, sometimes we'd catch them. And I'm like, you know what, you're genuinely, legitimately fearful of this thing, and yet you stepped up and did it anyways because you're trying to protect your community, because your grandma's at home has got cancer treatment or whatnot, and you're trying to protect the people around you, and you put yourself in the place that you're most fearful of, and you did it anyways. No one's going to judge you if your voice cracked. No one's going to judge you if you want to have something to say, my man.
Thank you, and I really want to thank you for what you said earlier today and yesterday. I heard you both times, and I very much appreciate that. And the one thing I want to say is I'm a veteran. I'm close to being 80 years old, and I do this every week. And I want you to know that it takes all of us. There is nobody left out. You can join the party anytime. What we didn't know before, and we know now, yay team, because this is 250 years. And my biggest concern is that most people in this country don't know our history, don't know how our country works, doesn't know how our government works. And while I love this one, this is the most young people I've seen in an event in a long time. Most people have my color hair. So, thank you. Please reach out to people who are not in your age group or any other group that you're part of. It's part of all of us, and I'm just really happy to be part of this community, and thank you all.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mama.
I'm about ready to head out myself here soon, so I just wanted to say to everybody, I'm proud of each and every person that's out here today. I'm proud of all of us who have spent months down at ICE. The fact that we have to change costumes because of MAGA coming and harassing us and doxing us and being violent with us, but yet we still persist. We still disguise ourselves. And then other days we come out looking just like we are, with our faces proud, and say, aha, I'm still here. What we need to remember is it's not just ICE we're fighting. It's not just Trump and the MAGA party. It's this whole world that has convinced itself that somehow one human being group is better than another human being group. And it has been like this since the dawn of time. And we are better than that. We are evolved, we are smart, we are intelligent, we have empathy. We have the ability to call out people on their preconceived notions that have been instilled through generation after generation after generation. And I will tell you, it is not easy. Sometimes you want to defend yourself. I am guilty. I get called out on crap still. Because deep down, we are all judgmental of each other. And when we've had times that we have been taught things through our families, through news, through media, through television, whatever the case may be, there is not a single person on this planet who is not guilty of judging another group of people for something that there is no substantial evidence to back it up. And we need to be real with ourselves. We need to be truthful. And we need to fucking admit that it has to change and do the hard work ourselves. And I'm saying that as every single human being. We cannot separate ourselves any longer because we've been conditioned to stay separate. And staying separate and staying divided is how those that are in power, that have been murdering and torturing and dividing and controlling and getting richer and more powerful and victimizing more people and getting away with it, and the list goes on and on and on. It's how they've done it throughout history. And we're gonna be the generations that fucking stop it. I have done not nearly enough in my almost 45 years. But the one thing I can say that I am proud is that I am raising my children to do what I did not. And I am standing with them and doing what I can today. And I'm not gonna stop. And I don't want anybody else here to stop. We will not stop. When I say that, and when we said it at the park, and when we're all here and everybody's pointing out that this is just the entry point, that is true. Get out there. Standing with the sign is great. Chanting is great. Walking is great. But it is not rescuing a damn person that's being taken. It's not stopping another person from being beat down by somebody in a badge. It's not stopping someone from being shot. It's not stopping a child from being raped. It's not stopping a rich person from taking from a poor person because he wants another goddamn yacht. We are the people that are going to change humanity, and it takes every single one of us. I don't care if you're late for work. If you see something, pull over and do something. There are no more excuses. If you see something, take your phone out and record it, but don't just stop at that. Do something. The recording is just part of it, so it's documented. But if all you're doing is holding your damn phone up, you're still not doing anything. Stand for your fellow human beings. Learn from those before us that didn't do enough, and learn from those before us who did do enough. There are plenty of moments in history we can learn some behind the movements that have been made, that have made progress. But you know, for all the work that it has taken history to make the changes and progress that we've made, it's taken a snippet of a moment in time to erase it. And the more we sit here on our ass and don't want to do the uncomfortable things or take risks to our own bodies and take a risk that, yeah, you might end up in jail. But those risks are the only thing that's going to stop them from erasing everything and everyone that they're aiming to erase. We have to stand up. This is the time that you need to understand. If you have true love in your heart for your fellow man, it's time to get dirty.
Hi, it's me again. I just want to say that up where I live, there's protests every Saturday, and we don't nearly have enough people. It's literally, I went there last Saturday, and there was probably like 10 to 15 people. Is that Albany? It's on Skyline. It's right next to a Starbucks and a pod pantry. Not a lot of people know where it is, but I just want to spread the awareness. Every single Saturday, nonstop, I always hear honking. It's from 1 to 2:30 p.m. There's always a protest there on Saturdays. If you have nothing to do, if you want to voice your concern for your community, please show up. We need the people. It's just a bunch of little old ladies and old men, and I'm actually the youngest person ever there, so we really need more people. Skyline, right next to Starbucks and the pod pantry. You'll see signs. Thank you.
I think we're almost done with our speakers. Let me thank you guys for being, this is a speech I give out there, the somebody speech, that we all wait for somebody to do something. You know, when it says like, somebody should do something. Somebody should stop this atrocity. Somebody should stop that man. Somebody should stop this thing that's going on. And we wait for somebody. But now you are somebody. You have stood up for something. When I was a child, I grew up in a very abusive household. I remember wondering why somebody wasn't speaking for me, when somebody might rescue me, and hoping that somebody wouldn't find my body one day. I was a reader at an early age, and luckily came across the stories of heroes, the people that became somebody, and tried to emulate that. And thought, when I'm big, thinking that as I stood up on a box in front of the mirror, when I'm this big, I will stand up for other people that don't have a voice. I'll stand up for the other people that are afraid of monsters. And so if I'm in a dangerous place at times, I'm compelled by that boy's voice that made those promises that I'm trying to keep. But you all are standing up and are somebody. You're going to be somebody's hero. Somebody will say, I thought I was alone and I saw you standing there and speaking when they tried to take my voice. As we end this march and rally today, this is the start of something. But I'm proud to stand next to all of you who are somebody today. Thank you. Now would somebody point me the way home?
Again, I just want to point out, this is when we got the news, people. This is when we got the news. I'm ending the stream, honestly. I'm getting pissed at the fucking media. I'll see you guys later.